Hey guys, in this video I want to go through some tips and techniques for choir writing and how you can utilize the choirs in your compositions. First of all, I just recorded a simple little progression with a sustained string patch. So nothing too fancy, but one of my favorite ways to use a choir is to really add like depth and character to these kind of soft passages by doubling the string chords with a soft choir. So I've taken it quite a bit down in volume and added a bunch of reverb to it so it sounds like this. And choirs tend to sound really magical when you have a lot of notes that are close to each other like this. So let's just try to record something really simple with this kind of sound over this chord and see the difference. Or here, I guess. Not perfect, but before and after, let's listen. Another way is by using it as a melodic instrument or by doubling existing ones. So let's just take this flute part and just put it in the legato one here. There we go. Suddenly we have a little choir passage. And we can just listen to that isolated as well. So there we go. Now the legatos are from Metropolis Arc 1, as you can see here, which is a great little all-around choir. And the sustains are from Nucleus by Audio Imperia. Now let's look at a more aggressive way to use choir, which I know a lot of you guys are really excited about doing. And I'll show you just some of the little things you need to keep in mind for that. So we have this little string thing here, staccatos. With some evident hits here. Let's see. Here we go. That's the choir. So now I'm gonna go to the staccato patch, which is also Metropolis Arc, which is really, really good for these kind of things. Now let me just record that and then we're gonna discuss it a bit further after. It just makes it a lot more epic straight away. But what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go in and clean this up a little bit. So some of the problems you can face when using these kind of phrase-based staccatos and marcatos is that each sample might be a little bit out of time. So let me just quantize it first here. Means I need to move this. So you see, some of them are not, some of them are a bit slower. So you need to kind of just move them a bit. But even if it's a little bit sloppy, it's still gonna sound really good. And you can add, a couple of these, maybe, a little bit further down as well. But that's the general premise of kind of doubling something that's already there. It's going to fatten it up. It's going to make it even more epic. And there's lots of ways you can use this, but the faster you try to play, it can be harder to make it sound good, because this choir sounds really good, but some other libraries that I've used, kind of start to fall apart as soon as you start to play faster passages. So sometimes it's easier to go a bit more simple like this. It all depends on the samples that you use and you have available. Now let's look at another little example that I just quickly put in here. This is just a few chords, and we are going to look at how to use the choirs to fatten up the chords and also double the melody. Sweet. All right, let's start with the melody, and I'll go down to the legato again. It's going to give us a bit more volume from the last example because that was very soft. Just pull it to about 0. And let's find a starting point, which is here. There. And I'll hit record. Suddenly it gets a little bit of a different expression here. Let's try to add some sustained choirs. Here we got nucleus again, sustains. Sounds like this. So I'm going to try to layer that over the chords that we got, which is A minor, E minor kind of with G as the bass, F major 7, E minor, and then D major. Go for that. And it's a bit overpowering, which can happen with some choir samples. So I'm just going to pull it down until it sounds a bit more balanced. That's a bit better. I might also automate it to come in a little bit more as well. So starting, a couple of dB lower and coming in. Giving a bit more of a realistic swell there. So those are a couple of ways that I like using choirs. You can use them to, double violin lines, woodwinds, create soft pads and passages. You can use them to fatten up like really epic staccato lines or synths even, or, fatten up string chords. And yeah, there's, sky's the limit, but these are some of the more common ways that you might hear it being used, or that I'm using them myself. But for now, experiment with, softer choir passages, softer legato lines that can beef up different melody aspects, staccatos and marcatos, and, bigger choir chords. That's all for now. See you guys later.